Hi, this is Kate, and welcome to The Ordinary Earth Song. I have no idea I'm doing a reading. It is 12 minutes to midnight, and I was just like, I should do a reading. So, let's just see. I have time. Why? What cards am I going to use? Should we go for these? Wild Reflections. Let's see how we go. I'm not going to go with traditional meanings today because you might come up, it might not. I'm just going to let it flow. Let's see what happens. The World, Queen of Cups, Eight of Cups, and High Priestess. Interesting. Judgment. And Nine of Wands. Just fiddle with the cards for a bit. Let's see. It's weird. I said interesting because I've been having problems sleeping. So in the World card here, looks like a good sleepy time card. It's quite chilled. She looks comfy, cozy. But also there's loads of energy here. Weird, because this is how I feel when I am sleeping, when I'm dreaming. This is kind of like, it's just this energy of... I can't explain it. If anybody else is having sleep problems, why would the World card make me think of sleep problems? It's obviously because of the art, right? The world is at your fingertips. That keeps coming to mind. The world is at your fingertips. In the dream state? Maybe. And we have the Queen of Cups. Traditionally a watery sign, obviously. There's like the sea here. She's been paddling. I'd say that because she's... bottom of her trousers is wet. Power at your fingertips in the dream state. Flowing water, Queen of Cups. Eight of Cups. Feels like abundance. Feels like the coming forth. High Priestess. Power at your fingertips. connection. Just holding the moon. Crescent moon. See the light coming from the dark or the light going into the dark, depending on which phase it's in. Shining light in the dark. Power at your fingertips. Power at your fingertips. Judgment. This card feels grey. Judging ourselves, feeling judged, impartial judgment. Nine of Wands. This is like the end of a battle or journey. Coming to the end. Coming to the end of judgment. Judging of the self. Power at your fingertips. What? Just need some guidance here, actually. What is this all about? New beginnings. New beginnings. We're coming to an end here. Letting go. That's weird. Letting go of judgment. Assimilation. Absorption. Familiarization. Becoming familiar with something. Integration. Integrating the self. Integrating the power at the fingertips. Letting go of judgment. Coming to the end of a journey by assimilating, integrating. Reacting, finding the answers. Consequences. Consequences for your actions. What's the reaction? Deception. Are we deceiving ourselves? Self. Deceiving ourselves. What are we deceiving ourselves about? What is the deception going on here? Are we deceiving ourselves, saying that we've got power at our fingertips? Is that what's happening? But we're letting go of judgment. We're letting go of judgment of self. So what's the deception? What are we reacting to? We're coming to the end of a journey. We've assimilated. We're letting go of reaction as well. Not that one. The right one. Forgetting. I just heard forgetting who we were. Forgetting that we have the power at our fingertips. That's what the deception is, maybe. Forgetting. Being misdirected. Misdirected. taking down alternative paths. This is the deception. So okay, we're being distracted. That's allowing us to avoid. If we feel it, we have the opportunity to fight change, alchemy. Why would we fight change? Are we fighting change? Are we fighting the potential to move into... Who's fighting change? I know at work at the moment they're fighting change because it's a scary prospect. Change can be scary. But all things with neutrality mean that we can be detached from the fear and we can move into the new phase. We can be flexible if we listen, and we can unveil the truth of who we are. So we have this power at our fingertips, flow state, dream state, bringing the light into the dark, dark into the light, abundance. And all of that coupled with judgment of self. And then we get into a self-deception mode. We've come to the end. We've come to the end. We've got to everything we can possibly be. And we think we've come to the end. But that's an assimilation. We've assimilated everything that we knew previously. And now we've come to a point where we realise there is no ending. It doesn't end. It just grows, it changes, it assimilates, it grows, it changes, it assimilates, it grows, it changes, integrates. It's a process of alchemy, continuous alchemy. And we get led down different paths. We get led down a path of deception, we get led down a path of discovery, we get led down a path of just imaginative seeking, and we can fall into the trap of believing that is the answer, the be all and end all, that is where we need to be, that's the ending we've been looking for, that's the answer to who we are, that's the answer to what everything else is. We've understood, we've got to that point of understanding, it makes sense. And then when we integrate, assimilate it, embody it, absorb it, becomes who we are. And then who are we? Do we stop seeking? Do we stop looking? Do we settle into a rhythm? Potentially. Is that the wrong thing to do? There's no right and wrong, right? There's no such thing as right and wrong. It's a man-made concept, and every culture has its own version. Shapeshifter. We shapeshift all the time. We're constantly changing, and constantly assimilating, constantly absorbing other people's views and ideas and concepts and what's written in books and life. And we shapeshift to fit into that perception. And as we do that, we come to this judgment of self, a judgment of others against that belief. We come to an ending when that becomes absorbed into who we are. And then what? Do we stop shape-shifting? We fall into the comfort zone of whatever we believe in now. Which is fine. You know, you do you. Actually, it can get quite tiring changing all the time. Kind of lose yourself a little bit, eh? Just sort of end up being a kind of sponge that can get wrung out every now and then. Wrung out, dried out, emptied. And then you choose to fill it back up again. You choose to soak up the juices again. You choose to explore the self again. And the process begins anew with maybe some new ideas, new concepts, new thoughts, new processes, new imaginative ideas. And they take us down a new rabbit hole, a rabbit hole of discovery that helps us learn more about the self, right? Helps us learn more about who we are, what we accept, what we don't accept, what we can live with, what we can't live with, who we are today, who we were yesterday. And it's always today, isn't it? It's always today that matters the most. It's always now that matters the most. Anyway, I don't know. Weird thoughts going through. Not weird. They're not weird thoughts. Growth. Okay. Okay, I'm taking that one. The crone. The wisdom. The wisdom of the crone. Gnosis. I like gnosis. It's the cycle of life. Connection of everything. It's kind of cool. The orphan. Yeah. The orphan. I think the book says something pretty cool about that card, actually. And I'm not going to make it up. So, let's see what it says. Five. To study the orphan is to study the deep and challenging energy of our time. We are ever more connected, yet face collective isolation. That's what this reading feels like. It feels like isolation. It feels like collective isolation. That's what it's just. It felt a bit sad, but not sad, but sad, a bit sort of disconnected. The refugee crisis haunts our planet. Children are separated from parents, and the earth begs for our attention. We are in a time of universal orphanage of nature, of each other, of our own hearts. Take refuge in the fact that we all share this core wound and dilemma. First thought was, how many actually care? Oh. Anyway, it is normal to fear this card, as it haunts the caverns of the soul. When it appears, take time, real time, to be in the presence of the feelings this card stirs in you. Let it humble you. What are you starving for? What are you starving for? What are you starving for? What have you got to a point of assimilation, of acceptance, of just, this is who I am. Blah, 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 la, 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 la. Living what I'm doing. But what is it I'm starving for? What is it I need? What is it that I'm looking for? What is it that would fill me up? What is the deepest gift you could imagine giving to others? What has been rejected is quite possibly what is most needed, dear one. What has been rejected is quite possibly what is most needed. Interesting. I'll hold that up so you can pause if you want to read it. There you go. Feels like a quiet reading. It feels like a collective sigh. A collective sigh of coming to a point of, so what? Finding that it's not the end. And then thinking, what's next? What is there? Is this it now? Is this who I am? Is this what it is? Is this the truth of who we are and what we are? And is that okay? Do we need to understand every single aspect? Do we need to dig in deep? Do we need to actually have the fundamental workings of every single piece of the universe so that we understand it completely and so that then we can feel we have a place in it? Or do we work on accepting that because we're here, we already have a place here. We already have an existence here. We already have a consciousness here. This is us. This is us. And maybe we can be more. Maybe we can be. If we want to be. Is there something more we want to be? Is there something more about you and me? Is there something we're missing that would help us understand life, our purpose, our connection, our goal? What is it we're looking for? What is it we're seeking? Genuine question. What are we looking for? What are you looking for? I just picked up my deck and reflection came up. What are we looking for? And who's actually looking for it? Who's seeing it? Because when we're looking out from our eyes, what we're seeing around us is a reflection of who we think we are, right? These are the people we associate with. These are the things we have in our house. This is the car we drive. These are the clothes we wear. This is how I want to be projected into the world. These are the things I want to see in my world, so I see them. Whether we like them or not, I guess that's a different matter. Not everybody likes what's in front of them. Inception. Beginning. Foundation. There's always a new beginning. There's always a beginning. Everything's beginning all the time. A reflection of self, a new beginning, a new reflection of self, a new ability to recognize that we can be someone different, be something different, be someone we want to be. Or we can choose to be who we've always wanted to be, and that's exactly who we are. Non-conformity, reorientation and visibility. Not conforming, reorientating to something new, and doing that by being visibly, actively, conspicuously reflective. Interesting. Don't think there's anything else to add. I don't think so. Just 2 cards under here. Assimilation. I've got that twice. Validation. So I was watching a lot of readings for validation purposes. So confirmation, validation, whatever. After more often than not, I got what I was looking for. I asked I asked the pendulum which one to watch, tell me. It would give me what the confirmation and validation I needed, and it would give me an extra bit of something, which is quite lovely. So we can get validation whenever we want it, from wherever we want to get it, right? We just have to ask. Do we validate who we have been? Do we validate the stop, the ending that we've come to? Do we validate our need to stay where we are? Do we justify that? Do we seek external validation from someone else? Internal validation from ourselves? Then there's this new beginning. Do we validate the new beginning? And in validating it, we kind of stimulate it, right? And we kind of allow it to happen. Which means we have to reorientate. We have to be conformist, because we have to suddenly go against, or maybe think about something different other than what we have always thought about, because suddenly we're like, oh, I need to start again. I'm like, this is a new start, guys. I'm going to swerve left where I've always taken the right path. I'm going to go left now and just see what's down there. I need to see what's down there, and I need to see what that looks like. Which might seem weird to someone outside of your brain because they're not you. People come and are like, oh, what are you doing? Why are you sure you want to do that? Have you thought about your pension? Have you thought about all the risks? Have you thought about all the fear factors, all the risk side of things, money, whether people will accept you, whether it will work, whether it has a purpose or not, other than your own kind of need or desire. And this isn't actually about me right now. These are just things that are popping into my head because I think probably opportunities are coming up that hold a sense of fear because they are different. They are challenging to the safety net that has been in existence up till this point. A really good, strong safety net is in place. An understanding of energy and connection and blah, blah, blah. And there's an ending, new beginnings, a choice between the two, a feeling that it's time to move on. And a deep breath. It feels like a breathing out. And then the fear of taking that first step, and then telling people about it, and then having them come forward with their concerns, their fears, their worries. Because that's their stuff. It's their stuff. I think all I can say is if there are signs and there are signals, there are synchronicities, there are things telling you the direction to go in, is an adventure, is going to take you down a road of something different, that's what you're going to get. It might not always be easy, but then the path that you're on might not always be easy either, because, you know, you can end up staying on a path because it's comfortable and it feels safe. But then sucky things are going to happen regardless down that path, because other people happen, other things happen, events happen that you've got no control over. No matter which path you go down, something crappy is going to happen at some point, because that's the way life works. We learn by being challenged. It's just the way it is. And we can be on the path of normality, safety, boredom, possibly. Or we could go, and maybe later on down the line we'll have another opportunity to veer off if we want to. But then we've always got in mind that we didn't veer off this time. And that's a good reason to not veer off again, and you end up just going down the path of life. Lifing. Doing what life does. Which is absolutely fine. You know, nothing wrong with that whatsoever. Major part of the population is exactly what it does. It's survival. I think if you want that something different, if you want that sense of growth, of connection, of actual stimulation, then the cycle needs to be broken. And steps forward need to be made. Gnosis is the spiral of life. It spirals because it goes outwards, and it goes outwards because it grows, it changes, it grows, it changes, it grows. And as it grows and changes, it spirals outwards. If it doesn't change, then it just loops. a tight spiral, because everything changes minutely, but it's a very tight spiral that looks like a cycle. It's interesting as well that this spiral is going clockwise. So when I do my pendulum, its preferred direction is anti-clockwise. And I ask it to prove that there's something there that wants to speak to me by spinning clockwise, because it goes in a direction opposite to what it naturally wants to do. So that's interesting. Clockwise, anti-clockwise. You get clockwise and anti-clockwise going at the same. Spirals going in two different directions. Something about that. Polarities completing each other. Anyway, don't know what that was about. Thought it was worth mentioning. Okay, I'm gonna leave it there. And I'm gonna leave it there. Thank you for watching. So I went quiet there because I was like, I wasn't taping. I just realised I was. Okay. I'm not going to leave it there because my eyes were brought to these cards, and I'm going to complete the reading with these, I think. These are Wisdom of Hafiz. Right, I'm going to ask you to ping a card. Look at this. Decide for yourself. Make your own choice. Don't. Oh, that okay. Thank you. That completes what I was saying previously. If you allow others to tell you the things to worry about with a new path, with a new direction, then you're giving them the power to dictate whether or not you stay in the loop that you're in, or go off and do something different and something new, and create the spiral rather than staying in the cycle. You decide for yourself whether or not you want to stay in the cycle, which you might, because you might be very comfortable there. It might be very nice. Or if you want to go and explore and do something a bit different. Because whilst that's scary, it's also quite exciting. And if you're in that loop and you're not satisfied with the loop, then maybe it's time to step out, do something different. So we let others get in the way of that decision by putting those fears or worries in our way, by going, oh, think about your pension or whatever. Then we're kind of allowing them to dictate what it is we're doing with our lives, and fill us with that fear. And if we take that fear on, then we suddenly own that worry, and it stops us from doing the things that we may want to or need to do. If we think for ourselves, decide for ourselves, and really, this is the other card that pinged out, embrace stillness. If you're not sure, meditate. If you're not sure, be still. Find a meditation. There's a guy called Adi Ashante, ADYSHANTI, who does some great meditations. You can get them on YouTube on just being still and quiet, and they're beautiful meditations. They help you just shut down. It brings you to a central self, central moment of being, where you can start listening to your heart, yourself, and, feel what it is you need to do for yourself. It isn't for other people. Have patience with that process, because it doesn't happen straight away. It doesn't go, oh, you meditate, thanks. So the message right now is that you need to do this. That's not, as it doesn't come through that clearly for most people. It might do, but you don't always listen the first time you hear it either. It's not always like one of those, oh, thank you, I'll go and do that now. It's one of those sort of, I'm not, okay, is that really what you said? I'm not sure. Is that the feeling I've got, is that was kind of what you said? And then it slowly slips away. The longer you leave it after the meditation, after the message comes through, it slowly slips away, and you sort of go, I think I was told something the other day in a meditation, but it's gone now. It's gone. I think it was good. I think it was encouragement. But when you go back to do the meditation again, you don't get the message again, because it doesn't come through the same bloody way twice. That's not for me anyway. So be patient, decide for yourself, embrace stillness, and see what it is. Because you have the power at your fingertips. Everybody does. Everybody has the same bloody fingertips. What was it that popped into my head the other day? We are just another version of each other. Right, you know that, right? We are just another version of each other. When I see you and you see me, we're just seeing different versions of each other. Clear away old energies. That seems like a fairly clear message. There's old energies need to be cleared away. Clear them. Let them go. Allow them, release them. What old energies are there holding you back? What is there? The validation just popped out into this. What old energies are asking for valid? No, they don't ask for validation. They have validated who you have been. And are you seeking validation to who you want to become from the same people who validated who you have been? You're not going to get that. Loud and clear, you are not going to get that, because they're not in the same place as you. They're in the old space. They're going to want you to stay as you are. There's no way they're going to validate you changing unless they are on the change journey with you. And in which case, they will have their own change journey to go down, their own path, which might differ to yours. There's just some things to think about. There's just some things to be aware of. When we're on a change path, there's many different routes, many different people going down the change path all the time. And when you go down them together, there will be compromise. There will be a need to meet and match each other's paths, validate, assimilate, integrate, become. And to allow both to achieve their different paths requires patience, partnership, and the ability to go off and do your own thing. Because if you can't go off and do your own thing, you have to do everything together. Unless you've got the same brain, that's never going to work. It's just food for thought. Expectations can be damaging. Anyway, I should leave it there because I can go on for a little bit. I think I don't think I'm. Oh, look at that! Bottom of the deck. Practice tenderness and listen. These cards are so beautiful. Practice tenderness. Just love each other, man. Allow each other to be, and whatever that is, whatever that looks like. The best support is to allow difference, change, difference, space, time. Love. Love, 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 love. When I do dum bum bum ba-doo 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 bum bum. It's all about balance. Couldn't get more clear balance card there, could you? Balance. Balance each other out. Balance the energies. Balance the path. Balance the direction. Accept differences. Allow differences. Encourage differences. Because, final message, if you're in a partnership and you're going in different directions, but you want to stay together, you're going in different directions. Allowing the space to do the different directions and coming back together every now and then diverging and coming back together every now and then and diverging again. For one, you're satisfying each other's need to do something different. But for two, when you come back together again, you're sharing the experience of what you were doing in your separate experiences. And so, allowing each other to grow further. That's quite special, isn't it? The key to that is not thinking that you're right above and beyond the other person's path or journey or experience. It's just about sharing what's happened. No judgment. No judgment. Neutrality. Interest. Allowance. Love. And I shall leave it there. Okay. Thank you for watching. I shall see you soon. Well, you won't see me. You'll see my hands. And I won't see you because I never do. So, anyway, thank you for watching and take care. Bye.